recording. Ooh, they updated OBS. That's fun.
Fun.
Love me some freshly updated software. Welcome, friends. How's everybody doing?
Good. I'm being screamed at by a void.
So nothing new.
No.
Nothing all that new. Where is my phone?
I saw one of my absolute favorite comments of all time today on TikTok,
Do
which
tell.
I haven't caught up on TikTok messages, but I've been watching it because one of my piercings is infected.
Oh,
So
cute.
I'm back. Yeah, right, every year. I'm back to soaking my ear in salt water, and what else are you gonna do but watch TikTok?
Of course.
But I saw a video of a guy who was working at a convenience store, and a bear came into the store
I've seen this one.
and grabs the Reese's. Yeah, and he was like, okay, the usual, huh? So
Me as a
apparently it's something.
bear.
Yeah, but somebody commented, at least he took the bare minimum.
Love it. You
I just
really do love to see it.
Awards. All the comedy awards.
I'm here for it. Okay. So the first question is something that sort of like generated organically because I did this in the presence of Kyle here. And the question is this: when you are doing laundry and you're not using the like Tide Pods or whatever little like, squishy boys you can toss in there, is it weird if when you put the detergent in the cup and then dump it all over your laundry, you just toss the cup in there afterwards? The washing machine I have doesn't have that little slot where you put the detergent. Putting that out there. That is the only way to put the liquid in there. You simply just toss it in there. But I just put the cup in there with it because there's detergent on it and I don't want to waste it.
That was your reasoning, was you wanted to use residual detergent in the cup. I mean, I don't think it's weird. I just never seen it done.
That's what my mom does. And she's the one who taught me how to do laundry.
First of all,
the washing machine at my parents' house didn't have a little hole for it either. We just dumped the detergent straight in the
but then I
the
just
main
put the
part,
cup
but then we
in
put
there.
the cup on the side.
But then the cup gets like the gross buildup. Brooks, you had something to say. Please say it.
Well, I was just gonna say, first of all, I had this whole thing like planned out in my head because I've been thinking about this since it was on the document like a week ago or whatever.
And then we didn't use it. Yes, continue.
Or whatever it was, 2 weeks ago.
I've been attempting to schedule this one for a hot minute for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I always forget to turn my notifications off on my watch. That trips me up every single week. Continue.
I had all this stuff in my head, but then you said the thing about dumping it over the laundry, and that's a weird thing.
It doesn't have the little, like, door...
You dump it in the drum, and then you put the laundry in. It's specifically what the thing says to do.
Oh, I have never done that in my life.
I mean, I've always had
what I've done.
But...
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So, now that we have two things to roast me for...
Yeah. Well, no, you're gonna like this. I think you're gonna like it.
I'm gonna like it?
As I believe I said to you a couple weeks ago, I think, like after we were recording or something, or before it, it's something that never occurred to me before, putting the little cup in there. Like, it came entirely out of left field to me, like a thing that, you ever have those things where it's like, it just honestly catches you so off guard that you're like, that's a thing that someone does?
Yeah.
What is life? What is existence? How is this a thing? But then we didn't discuss it that day, right? And so I was like, okay, so I have some time to think on it.
Okay.
Because I think, let me tell you, it's changed my life because. So I always used to get the all small and mighty, like concentrated ones back when I had to walk to and from a laundry room because it's, very portable.
Yeah.
And it's only recently, and when I say recently, I mean like 6 months ago, that I realized I can get like the big honkin' containers, the like
Yeah.
little dispenser, you know?
Because I did
So
that
I
forever
actually
while I was in
just got one of
college.
those.
And then I was like, wait, I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So I that just occurred to me like 6 months ago.
I love that for you.
But anyway, so I got it, and then I use the little cup, and then I dump it out the best I can, and I've been sitting it next to the detergent, and of course it's getting all sticky and gross, and it's building up, and it's leaving little rings on the thing. And so when I read that, I was like, why couldn't I put it in there? I mean, I guess the water doesn't get hot enough for it to like warp it or anything like that. So let me go ahead and do that, and it comes out so nice and clean, and I'm not leaving like garbage on the table anymore. And plus, like after a while, it builds up enough that your measurement is off because it's like kind of solid in there.
Precisely.
Yeah, and so you're not pouring as much as you otherwise would. So now I'm doing it every time.
I have won this day.
Told you you'd like it.
Yes. Yes, I do. I like it very much. Thank
Put
you.
that much thought into it.
So yeah, so my initial reaction was, okay, that's kind of weird. Never thought about it. Let me try that.
You're welcome.
And actually, I did laundry the day we were supposed to discuss it 2 weeks ago, and I specifically tried it before the podcast to see how
I
it
love
went.
that you put so much thought into it. I'm honored.
Then we didn't talk about it. Oh well, now I gotta come some more time to do
There
it.
you go. But yeah, I think that is the way that you should do that. I think you should put the little cup in there, even if you do have the little slot for the detergent, because it cleans the cup for you.
Yeah, for sure. And it never would have made sense when you just use like the cap as the measuring thing, but if you have the other ones. Because when you have the cap as a measuring thing, it just drains back into the container if you have residue.
Yeah.
But for sure, when you have the little detergent cup to worry about.
Precisely.
Yeah, he's being aggressively affectionate.
Yeah. Kyle, your face when I did that the first time, when you watched me just like toss the cup into the washing machine, you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
I almost said, oh, you dropped the cup in the thing, because it didn't occur to me. Like you said, the water doesn't get hot enough to ruin it. And
Yeah.
It doesn't, so it's not, I don't know.
So that's my advice to anyone who isn't using the little detergent packs. Just toss the cup in there. It's fine. Nothing bad will happen, and then it doesn't get all gross and sticky. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Makes a big difference.
You know, I'm glad I can make my friends' lives a little bit easier. I really am.
Somebody else's thermopetter.
If she'd fucking let me, I'd
I
be
keep
all
telling
over it.
There's other people in the world that will pet you if you let them.
Big baby. Love her.
She's my baby.
Okay. Second, this one was also inspired by a conversation that I had with you, Kyle, but this one wasn't like a me being stared at type conversation. It was just a normal conversation. What is the greatest non-sexual pleasure you can think of? I have several.
I remember the one that came to mind that made me think of this as a potential topic was, now I'm blanking. You should tell me what you have first.
Well, one of mine is when the water finally comes out of your ear. And that annoying bouncing noise stops. It's great. 10 out of 10. And you can hear normally again. Brooks, why are you giving me that look?
Think about it.
Oh.
I can't think what
it's not my fault.
You're just trying to rub it in.
I'm not rubbing it in. You will experience that sensation at some point.
liquid in my ears for 3.5 months because of COVID, and I can't hear all the way.
I'm sorry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that would be very nice if I could get this freaking liquid out of my ears. Stop crackling and...
I mean, I've always had that problem because my ear canals are
Deeply
prone
fucked
to
up.
getting clogged. Yeah. So cleaning my ears is always pretty nice.
Sorry. I am truly. So things that aren't that.
This is what I feel like I'd have to think about a little bit.
Interesting.
I don't know. I mean, obviously there's like enjoyable things, but to what extent do they reach? I mean, for me, finishing a longer race,
Yeah, there you go.
like when I cross the finish line after, like, not a 5K or something, but like a half marathon or something like that.
I imagine that would be pretty solid.
I survived it. I didn't die this time either.
Good feeling. I'm gonna say when you have a cold and you can't breathe out of one side of your nose, but then you suddenly can again, or like when your sinus is clear for like just a second and you can finally breathe. That's nice. That's pretty fucking nice.
It's like sometimes with this liquid in my ears, like I'll like blow my nose or yawn or something like that, and for like a split second I can hear better. I'm like, that's what that's like, and then it's gone again.
I'm so sorry.
But that's like, it's that feeling of like,
Yeah.
wait, this is what hearing is like.
Yeah, no, it's...
I was just doing something at work recently. I was trying to clean like a surface like underneath a counter, I think, and there was a bunch of buildup and crap under there. And I remember looking at it thinking like, this is gonna take me like over an hour to clean. And I found some chemical downstairs that made it come off so easily. And it took me like 10 minutes to wipe down the whole like 40 square foot like counter.
That's a whole
And
genre of
that was awesome.
pleasurable experience, is like anytime you're just like scraping layers of gross off of something, or like when people do those things where they like have like, especially people who do like those like spray paint like paintings, and they have like the you know, like cheap picnic table, like folding table that they do it on. And there's this one where this guy, he like sprays a bunch of paint thinner all over it, and then it just peels off in one sheet. Like, excellent.
It's kind of like that oddly satisfying.
Yeah. Or just like getting to peel the film off of any new technology. It's nice. It's really nice. I feel like there have to be more along.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like little things.
Yeah.
Because all I could think, it may because it's because of her, but like being surrounded by cats.
That's
like
excellent.
I've been at cat cafe once, and they were just everywhere. Or like, remember you went with me the one time to the
Yes.
cat shelter where I got them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like a big room full of cats.
It was
And
excellent. Was a big
just
fan.
the amount of joy. Yeah, amount of joy I feel in that place. I haven't been back since I got them, but
I'm
my
a big
butt.
fan.
I'm gonna return you. I'm gonna take you back.
Oh, a threat.
I never could. Hey, no. Trying to keep her out of my lap. She snagged my shirt.
Aw.
Because she has to make this thing.
She must. Simply the rules. Oh, like when you finally like get something to work. And like this is like weirdly specific, but like if you like I've had like these like kind of experiences where I like have to like you know, fix some object or whatever, and whatever little thing I do necessitates me doing another little thing, and you finally just have this chain reaction of like little adjustments that you make until whatever it is works again. That's nice.
I never get to experience that because I always give up. Once there's like
Oh.
three or four steps added after the initial one, I get like stop for a while and then I'll go back to it. But
That's fair. But like it happens to me on my computer sometimes where like I have something that like I can't like it's like missing this. It's like okay, you have to install like you have to reinstall this to do it, and then that necessitates me doing like a bunch of other stuff. But then I finally get whatever it is to run properly. I'm like yes, look at me go! Like when I'm trying to install mods or something because I am not super great at that.
I feel like that fits into a broader category of like something you're trying to figure out for a long time and you can't get it, and then all of a sudden you witnessed that when you were here last week. The new auto feeder I got the cats
Yup.
with nothing but problems for days, and I'm like getting so mad at it, and then all of a sudden, as I'm sitting on the floor, like getting so angry at it, I realized what I was doing wrong.
Beautiful.
I put it together wrong.
Yeah, every time I try to like install a mod for like any game, I always wind up having to do like 10 different things when it should be like a 3-step process at most. But I'm always so proud of myself when I finally get it to work. And that's what I'm going through right now, trying to get fucking Minecraft to work on my computer. I don't know what the problem is. I'm really trying to figure it out, and hopefully we'll get there at some point. Who knows?
I got a pop-up changing tent, like to change your clothes in.
Fun.
To take to Ragnar, 200-mile relay race. And like it kind of folds into this round thing, and when you open it up, it pops out, but I had no idea how to put it back together.
Oh,
and
cute.
of course it has like a little instruction card, but ultimately like that's not very helpful. It's like hold the arched spines together and then overlap one. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It took me forever to figure it out. And so when that thing finally went back into its original shape, I might have screamed.
Hell yeah. No, I'm majorly here for that. I feel like I have so many other little things like that.
Yeah.
Where it's just like you finally fix whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Or figure it out, or remember something that you've been trying to remember.
Oh my god, when like the like your brain finally like unsticks and especially if it's in a situation where you like can't look something up or whatever, when your brain finally like unsticks and you like supplies the word that you were looking for, or you're like, that's who that actor was, like that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And especially when you're in a situation where you can't look something up, because it makes me feel extra smart for whatever reason. It's like, oh, I do have lots of information down in the folds of my brain. That I enjoy.
One really small thing is sometimes when I wake up in the morning and I remember that I have leftovers in the fridge from like some restaurant.
Oh, yes.
Like especially Indian food, because I feel like Indian food is almost even better the next day sometimes.
I have never had Indian food in my life.
Really? We gotta correct that.
We do have to correct that. My family is not very adventurous.
Oh, I'm Indian food a lot. We got a lot of them around here. But like, I wake up in the morning and I'm just like, oh, I'm awake. Haven't thought about much of anything yet, and then all of a sudden, I have leftover Indian.
Oh, or like when you wake up and for a second you like don't remember that it's the weekend, and then you're like, oh wait a second, I don't have to do shit.
Wish I could experience that. Every day is, oh my god, am I late for work?
No, but like when you think, like when you're in that like half awake state where you're like, oh god, my alarm's probably gonna go off soon, and then you're like, wait, no, it's not. That's awesome.
It's always too late by the time I reach that point of realization. I've already like stressed and gotten worried too much, and then I'm like, oh, it's the weekend. It's a little like relaxing, relieving, but.
No, I'm sorry. Anyway, Burks, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, or that feeling of like if you wake up in the middle of the night and you know you have to get up early, and you're like, oh man, it's probably like I have to get up in like an hour or something, and then you look and you actually have like 5 more hours.
And it's like 2:30. You're like, oh god, yes. Yeah. No.
Which, and of course, there's the inverse too, where you wake up like just before your alarm, and you know you're not gonna have time to fall back asleep.
Yep. That makes me want to set myself on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole nother thing. What are the little things that make you want to walk into the ocean? That's one of them.
I do that a lot. I wonder what the psychology is behind that. I wake up like right before my alarm very frequently. I don't know why.
Trained yourself to wake up at that time.
my body is just ready to work again.
I feel like when you get a food item like a bottle of like a condiment or something, and you have to open it up and peel off the little thing.
Mm.
When those don't want to come off or you can't get a hold of them.
Actually, similar. When you try to like
That
put a condiment on your plate, even and like you shake it, you do the whole thing, but it still does that disgusting like.
blurp noise?
No, no. I don't know another way to
Oh,
describe it.
squeezing. Are you talking about a squeeze bottle?
Yeah, I don't know another way to describe this, and this is like incredibly vulgar, but the like fucking like pre-cum thing that it does, where it's like half water.
Oh, you're talking about like ketchup specifically, though. Ketchup does that.
Mustard does that too.
Mustard does.
Oh, I haven't actually used mustard.
Mustard.
But yeah, no, that disgusting. 0 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't think mayonnaise should be in squeeze bottles. I realized that
Why not?
when I was, I don't know, it comes out, it doesn't come out easily enough.
Okay.
With the viscosity of it, it's much less a liquid than like ketchup or mustard. You have to like shake and
I mean,
squeeze,
I
and then
guess.
shake again, and then squeeze.
So then, do you think it's wrong that they have sour cream in those like squeeze packet thingies? Because I love those
They
bitches.
do.
Yes, you see.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing, yeah. I mean, it'll come out. It works. Doesn't make 0 sense, but I don't know.
Very revolutionary for sour
Fascinating.
cream lovers.
I mean, the squeeze bottle is very revolutionary, so I get it.
I don't know why. I think there are a lot more things that should like stand on the cap, just like by default. Like that's how the bottle should be designed. Like, why don't we do that with like dish soap?
Yep.
Like, why is that not the default design for a bottle of dish soap?
I've definitely noticed that there are a lot of things like that that are just, they seem like they're common sense and they seem like they're so basic and easy, but they weren't a thing for so long.
Right?
That being one of them. Like ketchup was always, you had to turn it over. It's like, but why? I mean, maybe the seal wasn't good enough on the older bottles.
I don't know. Yeah. What other little things infuriate me? There are always so many. Until I'm trying to think about them.
Not being able to get the last of the sour cream out of one of those squeeze bottles.
I will literally like take a credit card and like, shh.
Tell me now.
I am not wasting anything.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there has to be a better design for a tube of toothpaste, by the way. Like, that just doesn't leave so much. Someone needs to get on that.
I have it down to a science. I get every little bit of toothpaste out of the tube before
I respect
throw it in the
that.
garbage.
I respect that.
When I put toothpaste on the toothbrush, I just squeeze it from the top when I need, and I set it back on the counter. And my sister, like, it drives her nuts because that I don't push it all to the top again.
Okay,
before I,
that
like,
bothers me.
put the toothpaste. I just do that the next time, like before.
No. Nope. I like that everything primed and ready.
I just keep a tube squeezer on mine, so it just...
See, I don't do that. I just like take the like flat part of my toothbrush and just against the counter I'll just like
Or you don't have to do that at all, and it just, you move it along as it gets emptier, and it's always like a full tube of toothpaste.
what, the little squeezer thingy?
Yeah.
Why would I just I don't want to go out and buy another object.
But
I
it's
guess
something that we can use at like all times.
Or I could
I
just do
like-
the thing with the flat part of the toothbrush.
I like to manually like get all the toothpaste up to the top of my fingers to make me feel like I'm
Makes you feel like you're accomplishing something.
I'm like this product wouldn't work without me. Like I'm the one solving this problem. But
Honestly, that's so valid.
I've never used one of those rollers, those like pressers to get the
I also think we need to redesign, like, we need to find a way to get everything out of, like, the jar of peanut butter.
Knife.
But, like, it's never, like, you can never get down into all the little crevasses. It's more of a problem with a jar of Nutella because the jar of Nutella is so, like, uniquely shaped.
Mm-hmm.
But just getting everything out of a jar.
I've
I
never
feel
had
like we as
Nutella.
a society need to find a way to move past this. So that's, like, a
How differently
small
is it?
thing that drives me
How,
nuts.
how differently is a jar of Nutella shaped from a jar of peanut
It's
butter?
like, kind of like,
Little nubbies that stick out sort of at the
yeah.
top. Yeah.
It's
Like
not
those-
just a perfect cylinder.
Yeah.
She's special.
The curves.
It's meant to be spread with a knife, though.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
but you can't get the knife into all the little.
Yeah, the angle doesn't work. You need like a shorter knife to get the angle, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
And
like
then you're
what Brooks
sticking
was
your
saying.
hand in
Wow.
the jar and getting, like, Nutella on you from the sides of the jar.
And then you gotta
Wow.
like eat your own hand at that point.
Yeah, can't waste any.
I've used my fingers to get peanut butter out of the jar before. Like the top.
Okay. That's only acceptable if you're, like, just eat, like, you're like, oh, there's a little bit left, let me just scoop that up.
Oh, yeah.
You can't
Yeah, that's what I do.
then put the peanut butter on something. I don't give a fuck if it's just making, like, toast for yourself.
Wait, you mean you can't put it on your own, like, bread after doing
Nope. Too weird. Don't like it.
So you can't use your finger to spread peanut butter on
No,
your
you
toast.
can't. That's just, like, I hate everything about that. Like, I absolutely hate that conceptually, which, like, I feel like is off-brand for me, frankly, because I do weird things, and I do things that you think are gross, Brooks, like not sleeping with, like, not putting sheets on your pull-out couch. But that is where I draw the line. You were mad at me about that because I forgot my sleeping bag. That came up again.
I just wanted to put sheets. It takes like a minute. You don't have to do anything. Just let me put the sheet on.
Or I could just not do that. Especially because I was only there
It's not
for
you
one.
doing anything.
I was only there for one night.
It's not you doing anything. It's you stepping away for a minute while I do it.
That's one less thing for you to do.
Shouldn't I get to make my own choices about what I do?
You know, you're one to talk. You didn't even use the towels at my house. You brought your own towels.
And sheets.
And sheets. And you brought a hook. A suction cup hook to hang your fucking loofah on.
Where was I gonna put it if I didn't?
Just hang it on the faucet like a normal person.
That's not normal.
That's normal. The loofah?
Or, like, on, like, the little, like, the knob that you turn the water on with.
Wait, do you mean the faucet at the shower head at the top or the faucet at the
The
bottom?
faucet at the bottom.
No. Sorry, no.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry.
There's a reason they sell suction cup hooks like that. It's specifically to hang things like that in the shower.
It's just so unnecessary. And also, I have one of those little shower caddy things that has hooks.
I'd never been to your place before. I didn't know what there was.
Okay, fair enough, but still, it's just such an unnecessary thing.
It's a thing, like, that particular little... we always call them puffs, and I don't know why, but...
Fascinating.
That's my travel one. It lives, like, with my travel things in a specific wet-dry bag, so when it's damp I can put it in there, and that's where the hook lives as well. So it's just always in there, ready to go.
You fascinate me. You just have so many little things for different purposes.
They make life convenient.
I just don't... I feel like it's too many... Hi, Piper. I just feel like it's too many little things.
You gotta keep in mind that I'm 13 years ahead of you.
I guess.
I did not have all of these things 13 years ago.
Okay.
Some of them didn't exist, but they like, things gradually accumulate.
Fair enough.
Because right now you're working on, getting some of the basics and stuff like that. I'm like well beyond that, so I just, try to get rid of my old basics and accumulate new things.
I love that for you. All right. Well, now that we're done yelling at each other over that, next question. Honestly, Kyle, I don't know if you would have thought about this as much as either of us, because you technically are a podcast guest. But if you have thoughts, feel free to jump in. Who is your dream podcast guest? Who do we most want to talk to?
You know who I'm gonna say.
Is it Henry Zabrowski?
It is.
Hell yeah. No, I would absolutely love to talk to Henry Zabrowski. I think he would be a fantastic podcast guest.
Honestly, he would be at the top of my list. You know, actors, entertainers, comedians in the same vein as him would be at the top of my list. I would like to hear about your guys' experience meeting him.
No, I feel like he's definitely strikes me as the kind of person who has very strong opinions on everything. And I'm super here for that. And honestly, I feel like this is being incredibly predictable of me, but a lot of the people who, like, you know, I wind up getting obsessed with, I feel like they are personality types that I would kind of jive well with in real life. So people like, for example, like Ellie White, Natasha Demetriou, I think they are the kind of people who would have, like, really strong opinions on little things. Like, I feel like this is a format that would work. And again, I feel like it's being so predictable of me, but, like, I just feel like I wind up being drawn to the work of people who, like, maybe I would, you know, be able to have a decent conversation with. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I feel like that's why in my head I automatically go to people that host podcasts.
yeah.
Is because, like, actors that play fictional characters, it's like I don't really feel like I know them.
Mm-hmm.
But with podcasts where they're talking, like, you know, directly to you, like on last podcast,
Yeah.
I feel like I know them and, like, we're pals and I know what the conversation might be like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's where, like, my head goes to, like, the crooked media guys too. Although I'm, like, way too intimidated by them.
Interesting.
Like John Favreau. Honey
Natasha would be a good podcast guest. She's done like panel shows and stuff extensively.
Yeah, that too.
Hasn't
Like,
she? And
hearing
she's very like candid.
hearing people talk on, like, panel settings, I'm like, I think, like, and again, just strikes me as having firm opinions on things that maybe aren't all that important. I don't know. That's an absolutely insane, like, reach goal for myself, but I don't know, who the fuck knows, maybe someday. I like to dream. I also feel like, just for whatever reason, like, there's a couple of, like, really random people that I think would just be, like, I don't know, I just think, like, they would get heated. Like, I don't know, fucking Bill Nye. I feel like my man has opinions.
Does he have a podcast?
He's probably done a podcast at some point.
I think
Oh, I
Hank
think, like,
Green's fun.
He
Neil
would be fun.
deGrasse Tyson.
He would
He
be
have
fun
his
to
own
talk
podcast.
to. Whomst?
Neil deGrasse Tyson. Does he have one?
He's such a buzzkill. I don't like him.
You don't like him?
No, he's such a buzzkill.
That's so funny because the person I was about to say, like, made his career as being a
Whomst?
it's a guy named Adam Conover.
Oh, Adam Ruins Everything?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think he would be so fun because he just knows things and
He is a buzzkill in a way that is so much more infinitely fun than the way that Neil deGrasse Tyson is.
yeah.
And, like, I don't know if there's a way for me to accurately quantify it.
He does it very joyfully.
He does. Like, Neil deGrasse Tyson seems like he's enjoying ruining your good time.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
he, like,
I
feels
never
good
got
about the
that
fact that
from
he's,
him.
like, smarter than
He
you and be
always
like,
seems
oh,
like he's-
actually, there's no way that, like, there could be any life in the universe for X, Y, and Z reasons. Like, I don't want to hear that.
He doesn't. Has he said that? I thought that his stance was the opposite. That there must be.
Oh, I've seen a lot of, like, videos of him, like, shooting down people's, like, theories.
I guess I've only exclusively seen him on like talk show interviews and in like interviews with, I guess, like presenters, like rather than him talking to like other people in a podcast setting where it's more like I guess he hasn't been as like fired up or
Yeah, I don't know. I also
like
just kind of don't like
strict
him
with.
because multiple women have accused him of inappropriate behavior, so
Oh, I didn't know about that.
I hadn't heard that either.
kind of just not the vibe, you know?
He's
Yeah.
a he's an odd duck.
Who else though?
Yeah. It's like I'm looking around my room for inspiration.
I know.
I
Like,
don't know why. I don't know what I think I'm gonna see.
well, because I mean, I got posters and stuff.
Yeah. I was looking toward my books, but I don't.
I feel like that could. This is kind of just turning into people I would like to talk to, and like not even
Yeah.
necessarily just about their work. Like, I feel like Stephen King would just be a really interesting guy to hear talk about literally anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if the rule is that I like can't ask about like his books or anything, tell me about fucking anything, dude. Apparently, he's really into jazz. I would love to hear my dude talk about that.
Still so disappointed I never got to meet him when I lived so close to him.
I know. That is tragic.
Convinced I would run into him at the grocery store at some point.
I would lose my mind.
We had to have gone to the same grocery store.
So you've
Does
said.
he not still live in the area? In that
Hmm?
area? Does he still live in that area?
What, in Maine?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. He has a big house with bats on wrought iron gate around
I was
it.
about to say, you don't get your creepy house with, like, custom spooky iron gate if you're not going to stick around. At least
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, and I went there a lot actually because that's where I would run. I ran in his neighborhood because my neighborhood sucked for running, so I would go and like park directly in front of his house intentionally, and then go
Because, like,
running.
yeah, you're not going to lose your
So
spot if you park in front of a landmark.
yeah, so I was like, yeah, I'll just keep doing this, and maybe eventually one day I'll see him on his porch or going down
That
his.
would have been incredible.
Never happened somehow.
Rip.
Which it's wild that the only reason I knew he lived there is like if you look on Google Maps and you're just like zoomed in on Bangor, it's on there like as a landmark. It says Stephen King's house.
Hell yeah, dude.
I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, that can't be real, can it? What?
Piper. Not now. I'm being spoken to.
I heard the
Are you talking? Do you have some opinions you'd like to share?
that she does.
And
She's
your
very pro scritchies,
stinky hot breath.
anti-baths.
But it's okay, I love you. She's very anti-bath. She hates water. Absolutely hates it.
Real original, Piper.
Incredibly original. Which is super weird because she has the she has like webbed paws, and not all dogs have that. So like you're supposed to be a water dog. So why aren't you?
She's too pampered.
I actually think it's because she fell into the pool once when she was a little puppy. I think we should have tried harder to teach her to swim. But my parents were afraid that her nails would rip the pool lining. So we didn't do that. Which kind of sucks, because, like, in the summer, she insists on, like, just roasting herself, like, out in the sun. Especially, like, if, like, everyone in my family's, like, out on the, like, hanging out on the deck by the pool when it's really hot out. So, like, she has to be out there because that's where the people are. And if we try to send her back in the house, she'll bark because she wanted to be out where everybody is. So we bought her one of those really cheap plastic kiddie pools. And we're like, okay, maybe she... Because when she was younger, she used to stand at the edge of the pool with her feet on the top, like, with her paws on the top step in the water. Because, like, I'm assuming it would cool her off. So we're like, okay, maybe she'll do that again. But, like, I had to or, like, maybe she'll, like, sit in, like, a little bit of water. But, like, I had to physically lift up her front paws and put them in the pool and hold them there. And she was like, absolutely fucking not. I'm like, I'm trying to cool you down so you can stay out here with us like you insist. I'm trying to help you.
It's enough of a nightmare for my family and I to give our beagles baths. I can't imagine trying to dry her off. She's so...
Oh, I think the last time we
fluffy.
attempted to give her a bath, she was like a puppy. My mom was like, we're done with it. This isn't a thing that we're gonna handle. And she gets groomed now. Fancy lady. Isn't that right? You're so cute.
See, it's like conveniences of the modern world.
Right?
Like, pass the dog off. Like, here, I don't want to do this. You do this. Great.
Yeah, and especially it's harder, like, because a couple times that she has, like, actually, like, gotten wet around us, she, like, tries to dry herself off by, like, rubbing herself all on, like, surfaces. And the one time we tried to give her a bath in the house, it was, like, in the middle of winter, so she was doing that, like, on the walls. We're like, no, we're never doing this again.
And everything smells like wet dog.
Yep.
She like grind herself along the perimeter of like the couches and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very
She's like, I
self-love.
want the damp off of me.
That's not how that works.
So that was the last time that ever got tried. Wasn't it? You want to give the microphone a little sniff? Thank you. Good job. Bippe. Okay. So we got the last question now, which does require Pepper, go lay down. I know when I stop petting her, she's gonna try and talk to me.
Yes,
If I don't like tell her. This one does require a visual, which I will be sending to this chat now. But the question is essentially, is this normal? Because personally, I can't say that I think it is. But if you'll just give me 1 second here, put this in the chat for y'all. I need a third monitor, I've decided. Maybe that's too much, but I personally don't think it is. I think it's very necessary.
Technically, I have 3 screens. 2 monitors on my laptop.
I just think it would make my life even easier. But yeah. So it's in the chat for this.
Just say you don't really need to pull up a picture for this one.
The picture helps. I am pulling the picture up on my screen now, just so people see. But yeah, is this normal? Because I sure as hell don't think it is.
I do it.
You fucking what? You leave the eggshells that you have used in the carton and put that
In my
carton
fridge
back in
right
the
now.
fridge.
I could go get it out of my fridge right now and show you.
Do it. That's not normal.
It's really bad. I mean, I'll be honest, I've been tempted before, because when you, like, crack an egg on the side of the skillet or whatever, like,
Okay, yeah,
it's
here's the
annoying.
thing. I made myself an egg sandwich for lunch earlier today, and I used the last 2 eggs in the carton. So when I was doing that, and I didn't want to walk across the room to throw the, the eggshells in the trash can, yeah, I put them in the empty carton beside me, but putting them back in the carton when there are still eggs in there, and then putting that back in the fridge? Bizarre.
Well, it keeps them cold so they don't smell.
Absolutely not.
And you just use them as storage and so they're not sitting in the garbage can smelling if you're not going to take your garbage out for a
No,
few
you
days.
don't. If we ever, share the same apartment, no. Absolutely not. I will make many concessions. I am open to compromise.
I mean, I
That
don't
is
do it because
not
I'm
a place.
compelled to not do it. I just do it because I'm lazy.
That
I
is
just
not
don't
a
want
place
them
where I will
sitting in the
compromise.
garbage can for 4 to 5 days. Is the only reasoning I could think of as to why I do it.
But the garbage can has a lid on it.
Yeah, but that doesn't always.
Boost your face.
I mean, I only take out my garbage like once a week. I don't generate that much garbage.
Yeah,
Sometimes
that's what I do. And I
And-
still don't do that.
Yeah, and I put eggshells in there. They have never smelled.
Yeah, that has never
Yeah.
been a problem I've encountered.
It's not. I don't have all the answers.
Oh my god, are we shaming you right now?
No. I mean, maybe a little, but that's alright.
Things. But
I mean, I've
that's
been
also
to your
the same-
apartment. It is clean. This is not a personal attack.
Oh, I know. It just always seemed like such an economical way to do it because they fit right back in there and you could throw
See,
them all
the
away at
thing
once.
is, though, that your, stovetop is even closer to the garbage can in your kitchen than mine, and I still, will take the eggshells away from the counter and put them in the garbage can.
You got a bit of a walk.
Yeah, and your kitchen's even bigger than mine is, Brooks.
Well, no, I mean, the garbage can's at least right behind me, so I turn around and take like 3 steps and I'm there.
Oh, yeah, no, my kitchen is not set up in a way where you can quite do that because I have more than one door.
Yeah, it's just the proximity of the garbage can to the stove.
Apartment life. But yeah, no, I don't think that's normal whatsoever.
I was trying to think about like whether, like, aside from being weird, if there was anything bad about doing that. And the only thing I can think is if you put the eggshells back in there and you get like egg yolk and stuff on the carton, does that affect its recyclability?
Also possible.
Because I always recycle mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I know like certain things they can't be recycled if they're not like totally clean. I don't know if egg is one of those, but like pizza boxes, they can't be greasy or you can't recycle them.
Yeah.
That's,
So I don't know.
yeah, I don't recycle egg cartons or pizza boxes for that reason because I feel like the integrity of them has been ruined. The
Yeah, I don't
cartons
know.
only because I put the shells back in them, but
So then
But
stop
that's
doing
the point.
that.
That's exactly the point I was making.
yeah, so there are a lot of I will take this one.
You'll
Yeah.
take the L.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you still have your carton of eggs out.
Yeah, put them back.
Yeah. I mean, for some reason, for the longest time, Wegmans was still putting their eggs in styrofoam containers.
Interesting.
So when that was the case, I would put the last couple of eggshells back in before I put it in the garbage.
Well, yeah.
Like you said earlier, because it's not recyclable. But ever since they switched to cardboard, whatever it is, it's not a cardboard.
It's
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
But it's recyclable,
It's
so I don't.
some organic material. We'll call it that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't put it back in there because I don't want to get egg on it
Yeah.
and make it not recyclable.
Valid.
So they all go straight in the garbage as soon as I'm done cracking the egg. Although it's annoying to have to do it twice if you're making like more than one egg.
It is annoying, but so is being alive in a lot of ways.
I have actually sometimes had a dirty dish sitting on the counter and I just threw the eggshells in that, like, temporarily.
Yeah,
so I didn't
that's
have to...
fine. Especially if you're, like, trying to do something that, like, like, if you're, like, poaching eggs or whatever, it's like, you gotta... Or, like, trying to do it, like, sunny side up and not break the yolk. Like, you gotta keep an eye on that.
By the way,
I just realized... Sorry, go ahead.
I just want to say, I got a new skillet. It is a ceramic skillet.
Ooh.
And man, is that thing nice. Nothing sticks to it. Because remember when you were here last week, one of your eggs got all jacked up. And it's because the skillet I usually use, the nonstick coating, is going away because I use it so much. So I replaced it. Perfect eggs.
Absolutely love that for you.
Yeah, this is an ad for ceramic skillets. Thank you.
Noted. Well, if I'm ever in the market to upgrade... I did recently. I got a cast iron skillet for my mom because she knew I was going to cook something that, like, requires a cast iron skillet. She's real nice. I'm a big fan of her.
I am not a fan of cast iron. Like, well, what is the science behind, like, you needing that type of skillet for certain things? I've never really looked into that.
I don't know.
Because
I can't
that's
say
such
that
a
I have
pain
any
to
idea.
clean.
It's just really nice, and I like that, like, just the more you use it, like, the better it gets.
Yeah,
I was
I've seen them.
stressing out, worrying that I was gonna like not clean it properly or the right, well enough. And I was like, but the ceramic skillet, which I had never heard of, sounds awesome, and I'm gonna be looking into that because
Yeah,
my nonstick pans are going too.
I have some of those, like, steel pans, which are nice, but they're kind of annoying, because, like, I saw this little hack on TikTok where it's like, oh, it's hot enough if the water, like, if you, like, flick a little water on it and it doesn't just, like, pop all over the place, it kind of, like, glides across the surface. That's how you know it's hot enough. But the thing is, that's always so, like, if I'm, like, cooking, like, frying an egg, for example, that's always so hot that, like, it's, like, burnt almost immediately. So, like, the proper temperature to have like to have the steel pan be, like, kind of non-stick automatically burns some things like eggs. I'm like, Or I don't know. Maybe I'm just doing things wrong, which is very possible, but that's been a small annoyance I have discovered with some of the hand-me-down dishes that I have gotten over the course of my mom cleaning out the cabinets so that she can redo the kitchen at my parents' house. Story time with Bridget.
Yeah, the only thing with the ceramic skillet is it's almost like too slippery, and so trying to get the spatula underneath the next person who used it, they were just sliding everywhere, and I'm like chasing them with the
So
spatula.
gotta get one of those. Do you have like one of those nice like silicone spatulas? Because I need one of those.
Yep, that's what I was using. Because with ceramic, you're only supposed to use silicone.
Yeah, I gotta get one.
Yeah, they're
Is
super nice.
the actual pan part completely ceramic, like all the way through? Or is there like a metal plate inside of it?
Yeah, so it's like on the outside it's a regular skillet, like you would see on the bottom of skillet. It's made of metal, but then the inside is coated like with a thick layer of ceramic.
Oh, okay.
Wait, maybe
they even sell them at like Walmart and stuff, but they just don't have very nice ones.
I'm about to say the one I have might be like, it might be like a cheap one, but it might be a ceramic one now that I'm thinking about it.
The one I used this morning, yeah, I think it might be.
All right. Well, I mean, you know, for someone who just moved into, like, you know, who's only recently moved into a new apartment, I'll take it. I'll take whatever cheap dishes I can get for now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
If it works, good enough.
Yep.
Someday I will be a nice, like, you know, fancy ass, only matching, like, Le Creuset skillet lady. Just because I like things being nice, but today's not that day. Today is not that day. It will come later.
I don't cook enough to justify something like that.
Oh, Kathy loves her Le Creuset dishes. And they are fucking nice. The thing is, like, she got one when we were, like, cleaning out my grandfather's house, who we, like, had, like, you know, who we, like, never talked to. But, like, she got this nice-ass Le Creuset skillet, and he had it for, like, decades, and it was still in, like, perfect condition. You buy those, you never have to buy a pan again. So, like, I'm majorly here for that. I just can't drop that kind of money on it now. I really do. I do, in general, love the idea of being like, yeah, let me buy, instead of buying the, like, $50 thing and, like, having to replace it in a couple of years, I'll buy the $150 thing and use it for the literal rest of my life. I'm very much about that. I'm just kind of poor right now. Just a little rant for y'all. Not even a rant, just some thoughts.
Just putting things into the universe.
Just putting things out there. That's another... I've been coming up with some fun kind of, like, subheadings for this podcast, and thus far it's, making each other worse, because we definitely do that. Group therapy where nobody heals. And now, just putting things out into the universe. Just saying things so that people are aware of them if they watch this podcast / listen to this podcast and choose to be. Things I'm gonna have to start incorporating into our branding.
Yeah, I mean, you said making each other worse, but you improved my life with a question.
Technically, I feel like that might be the first time.
That's probably, Usually it's just us asking about things and everybody else going, that's weird.
I don't know who I was... It might have been when I was talking to Dr. Cooper when I was in Geneseo with you, but I was describing the podcast to him, because he didn't know that I had, like, you know, started doing this. We hadn't talked in, like, 2 years. But one of my, like, prime examples of just, like, how just ridiculous, insane, and, like, again, just us making each other worse, group therapy where nobody heals. My prime example of that was you, me, and Zach screaming at each other over the proper way to take off a shirt for 20 minutes, complete with examples.
That was an intense day. I really, I want to rewatch it with a mind of counting the number of times I took that t-shirt off.
I think you should. I think that would be really fun bonus content.
And every time, this is the second, I think at least the second time it's come up since that episode, I was wearing another shirt. I just put the t-shirt on over the shirt I was wearing to demonstrate.
We are not starting an OnlyFans.
Yeah, because every time I'm like, how many times did I take off my shirt? It's like, no, I was wearing a regular shirt.
Although I suppose
Yeah.
Zach theoretically could have if he wanted to, which, like, on the one hand, good for him, but on the other hand, that's bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. But I honestly don't remember how many times when my hair was getting real staticky and sticking out. The number of times I got stuck.
Physically
in
stuck in a shirt trying to take it off the way Zach does, and him
Yeah.
just being like, oh, this is so normal. I'm like, no, it's not!
Either grab it from the. I don't want to like instigate this again, but that's not.
Oh, yeah, you haven't weighed in. How do you take off?
How do you take off a shirt, Kyle?
Definitely not grabbing it from the back and pulling it like this. Is that?
Okay, but
how
are
he
you one of
did
those
it?
people who like gets stuck if they try to do the arms cross thing?
Yeah, I can't cross my arms into it.
So then
I
what the
got
fuck do you
short
do?
Put one arm through and then take the rest off.
Okay, that's more normal than Zach. I'll give you that.
I mean,
Well,
it's the easiest way to do it.
But like, what if it's a really like tight-fitting shirt?
Yeah, I was gonna say it only works for
But that's what makes it easy. Is if it's really tight, you take one arm out and then take the rest off, pull it straight up.
No, like most of my things, I physically can't. Like it's impossible.
I mean, that's not a great
Because,
example though, because that buttons.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even my t-shirts are gonna be like they're only gonna pull maybe that far from my body. I'm not gonna be able to fit my arm in there.
You can't
Yeah,
get
you
your
have
arm.
more of that problem than me or Zach, because we're more into the baggy chic than you are, even like
Yeah,
just with
I don't really like
t-shirts.
baggy. I like t-shirts that like fit.
I don't. That's why I got this in a medium.
So
I
you know
like.
they fit my body, and then it's not enough to pull it out to be able to get my arm in
See,
there because it
I
doesn't stick out my
choose
body.
shirts that like are baggy on me because because I wear a lot of high-waisted jeans and I feel like that's a good look where the shirt is kind of billowy but then you tuck it in, or like I'll be wearing the big t-shirt and then like really like form-fitting jeans underneath. I don't know. It's a whole ass look. That is why I choose it. But you have
many
that
different
problem
ways-
more than either of us, even if it is just a standard t-shirt. So like
How
not
many
like
different ways are there to take off
dressy
a shirt?
material that like doesn't stretch.
Yeah, because I got the same t-shirt you're wearing in a small.
Which is again, I doesn't make sense to me, but all right.
You are taller than I am.
Ever so slightly, as you delight in pointing out or reminding me of.
No, what I delight in is reminding people that I am not short. I'm in fact exactly medium height for a woman.
Although I liked pointing it out more when I was wearing platform boots.
Yeah, trying to use me as an armrest.
I know, it was fun. I like the amount of people that like didn't recognize me when I went back to Geneseo with you because one, I was 3 inches taller in the shoes that I was wearing, and two, people hadn't seen me without a pixie cut, like ever. So that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, been rolling for about an hour. Anyone have any... Actually, I want to conclude by trying to answer this question that, Kyle, you just asked. How many different ways are there to take off a shirt?
Imagining. I'm trying to think of all the times in my life I've seen people take their shirt off.
Because there's the
how many
arms
different
cross.
ways.
That's one.
Yeah.
There's Zach's weird over-the-head thing.
Those two I have tried and are physically uncomfortable. Like.
And then, Kyle, there's your one-arm thing. So that's 3. And obviously, if you have a shirt with buttons, duh, that's 4.
Which, by the way, I remembered that when on the occasion I do wear like a bigger t-shirt, that I do take it off that way because it's harder when it's like to do it like that when it's bigger to me.
Interesting. Not for me, but continue.
Like, yeah. Like, I think it was when you were here last week, I was wearing the one large t-shirt that I own from Genesee Brew House. Because I
Oh,
won
yeah,
it, so it's,
yeah.
I had to pick the size, so it was large.
Yeah.
But it's nice and comfy, but like that I have to do that.
Interesting. Okay, so we have 4,
Otherwise, I
and
don't
one of them
find
is
my-
kind of like default because if your shirt has buttons,
Yeah.
unless they're just decorative,
Zipper.
that's what you're doing.
Zipper, that we put those in the same
I
category.
think maybe
Yeah.
once or twice I've taken them off, like by grabbing the collar and just pulling it up. But usually it's the arm.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I think
technically,
that's the way Zach takes his off. He was
Yeah,
just talking about
okay.
this something other people do.
okay, so
Okay.
we've come up with 5. I think that's what we're gonna conclude with. We can think of 5. If anyone else can think of another way, please let us know. We'd love to hear it, and then probably get really angry about how that's not the right way to take off a shirt. So,
Oh, absolutely.
provide us with future content, possibly.
Yeah. Just in advance, you're wrong.
Yeah, in advance, you are incorrect. Okay. Great way to end the episode. As always, thank you, friends, for fighting with us. We appreciate each and every single one of you. By the time that this episode has come out, you will have found out how my first solo stream went, which I'm both excited and nervous about. But from where I stand at the time of recording this, I will be streaming myself playing Dark Souls tomorrow night, which I am, again, both excited and nervous about, because I hope it's going to be fun. I might wind up getting really angry while I'm playing it, so hopefully that's entertaining for people, but by the time you're watching / listening to this, you'll know! So I hope it went well. Hope that was fun for everybody.
I have no idea what I'll be doing at 8 o'clock tomorrow, but if I have downtime, maybe I'll tune in.
Ooh, exciting.
I'll be at the Airbnb in New Hampshire by that point, I'm sure. But
fun times. All right, well, we'll see y'all next week. Adios.
You didn't say the thing.
What thing?
The thing. Are you still recording?
Yes. I said thank you for fighting with us.
Oh, I didn't hear you say it.
I don't forget. I appreciate our listeners. Anyway, okay. Adios, everybody. This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brooks, featuring special guest Kyle Bristol. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98 and at AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice, like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Twitch, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon. Thanks for listening!